Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to receive future updates.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Bryno's Homebrews here on Bryno's World. Tonight it's part 2 of our Orange and Blueberry wheat beer that we're making. So now it's just be a very, very simple thing. I'm just going to be racking the beer, which is in front of me. It's off camera, you can't see, from the brew bucket to the carboy. But remember in the first video when I told you that we introduced the blueberries in the second part of the video? Well, that's what we're going to do right now. And how am I going to do that? I'm going to take this bag of frozen blueberries, which I've let thaw for about a few hours, and blend them up right here in the blender. After that, I'm going to put it over a little bit of heat just to kill any bacteria or whatever that might still be in there, although I don't think there's going to be any. Then dump it into the secondary in this carboy right here. And then I am going to rack the beer from the bucket into that carboy. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is take these blueberries. Don't know if you can see them, but those are definitely blueberries. Into yon blender. Not sure what this is going to do for the color of the beer. If it's going to make it like purplish or... It's definitely not going to be a blue color, but anyway, I'm going to puree the crap out of this. Alright, I think that's as blended as it's going to get. And see if I can't dump the contents of this. There's only about a couple cups into this 2-cup measure. Alright, looks like we've got almost exactly 2 cups here, so I'm going to clean up the table a little bit, and then I'm going to cover it in plastic and throw it in the microwave because, well, I'm lazy and I ain't got time for this. So once we get this to a boil, we'll know all the microbes, if there are any there, have been killed, and we'll sanitize that and be ready to go. Alright, off camera I have microwaved this to a boil. You can see the steam coming off of the blueberry puree. So now let's get it into, let's get it into the carboy. And now, time for the racking. And of course, while we are racking the beer, let's get a reading here. Okay, so this is what it looks like after a little over 2 weeks in the primary. Let's get a reading on it while this continues to rack. Now, when I did my first readings, my initial reading was 1.052 for the specific gravity at 77 degrees, which if it fully fermented would get me a 7.1% beer. That of course will not happen. But here, the reading is 1.008 with a temperature of 69.9 degrees Fahrenheit. Which gives my corrected gravity to 1.009. And given my initial gravity of 1.052, which was readjusted to 1.054, this means that the alcohol level of this beer, 5.9%. Not too bad. Of course, that's not the end of it. I'm actually going to re-measure the gravity after it's mixed up in with the blueberry bits. Speaking of, take a look at that color. That's just 1 pound of blueberries. Normally, from what I remember, fruit beers have like 3 pounds per 5-gallon batch, or maybe I'm just thinking of things. But even just 1 pound gives that dark color, whereas the stuff without the blueberries looks a bit like that. Okay, I've managed to get some blueberry beer into the test tube. Don't ask me how. And now, since there's a little bit of sugar in this, I expect the specific gravity to rise a little bit. So let's see what we got. Actually, I stand corrected. It didn't change at all. 1.008. As for the temperature, went up maybe about 1.5 degrees. It's at 71.4. But I don't think that's going to make enough of a change in the adjusted gravity, so for the record, we're just going to say that it's virtually the same. Which actually might be a nice thing, so we get this light blueberry flavor, nothing overly sweet. But you know what? We've got a blueberried and unblueberried version here. Sounds to me like we need to have a little taste test. Alright, so again, we got 2 samples without blueberries, with. Now this is only after about 2.5 weeks, so this will absolutely not be indicative of the final flavor. But still, it's fun to taste and see how it is. Let's get a little smell first. Get maybe the teeniest, tiniest little hint of orange, because of the orange peel that we put in the beginning. With this stuff, maybe I'm just busy or whatever, but I'm not really getting much of a difference here. But then again, it's not really carbonated, it's not really cold, so I'm not getting much of aroma. But anyway, let's get a taste. First, without blueberries. I definitely get the orange flavor. It's not in your face, but it's definitely there. And it's not really, there's no bitterness to it at all. It just tastes like wheat beer with a little bit of hint of orange, which is what you kind of expect with this kind of beer. I may have to do that by itself one of these days. But that day is not today. This is the kind of beer that we're going to be having at the end. The orange and blueberry wheat beer with some freshly added blueberry puree. Let's see how this tastes. I'm not getting any strong flavors right now. Got a little more berry in that. It's almost like the two fruits kind of cancel each other out almost. I'm almost kind of sorry I drank that one first. The blueberry flavor, it's starting to grow a little, but now I'm starting to see why if you wanted a strong flavor, then you need like around 3 pounds of fruit. And I was just worried that might be too much for this, given it's also have some orange flavor in it. But it's not bad, it's not terrible either. The blueberry doesn't jump out at you. I'll be curious to see how this tastes at the very end. And with that said, this is going to go back into its normal spot, where it's going to secondarily ferment for maybe a week and a half or so, and then we'll have some drinking stuff. Well, that'll do it for episode 2 of the series of the Orange and Blueberry Wheat Beer here on Bryno's World, on Bryno's Brews. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see here, leave a comment down below. Otherwise, don't forget to like this video, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell icon to receive future updates immediately. Once again, thanks for watching, and have yourself a good one.